firstly, congratulations to not only Kevin Mitchell but to John Murray for both putting on superb performances which helped create a candidate for Domestic Fight of the Year and also light up a card. That was the night last week. And then he said, I would love to see Kevin go and avenge his loss to Michael Katsidis. Let me just tell you about the Michael Katsidis fight. It's for the WBO lightweight title. It was last May, Upton Park, glorious night, 20-odd thousand people in there. I thought Kevin Mitchell, who was unbeaten at the time, was going to beat Katsidis. And something went wrong. Kevin had a good couple of rounds, good round and a bit. Then Katsidis come at him, and then Kevin fought like he'd never been in a ring before. What was going on? It wasn't Kevin. What was happening? He got taken apart, made Katsidis look unbelievable. Stayed on his feet, took a lot of good shots. It was over. And then the fight started. The real fight started. I don't mean in the crowd. I mean in Kevin Mitchell's personal life. He had basically 14 months out. He's acknowledged, he was talking to a pal of mine, Steve Lillis, in Boxing Monthly, said he did £100,000 on booze. And we know that, we know he was troubled. We know he was suffering. And a fight was made with John Murray, who was unbeaten. Fight was made in Liverpool, not far from Manchester, where John Murray's from. And, let's not mince our words. Even though Kevin was on the show here a couple of weeks ago saying he thought it was still a heavy fight in his favour, the betting favourite was the other guy, Murray. And what a fight it was. Well, listen, it's enough of me talking. Let's get him on. Kevin.
Hi, Steve.
How are you, kid? How are you feeling?
I'm good, Steve. Yeah, tonight I'm having my celebration drink tonight with a few of my friends. Yeah, I'm very well.
You must be feeling fairly pleased with yourself, Kev, if you don't mind me saying so.
I'm fairly pleased with my trainers, Jimmy and Mark, for the job they've done. I'd give it all the respect to them. And they've done the job perfectly.
And they did do a good job, didn't they? Because you were boxing so much to tactics, to plan, that you didn't break out, even when you possibly could have broken out a round or two earlier. Kev, I mean, the influence of Jimmy and Mark cannot be underestimated here, can it?
Most definitely. Jimmy and Mark were unbelievable. They massive. They changed my life around, as in being
sorting your life out,
as in being friends, as in being trainers. They've just changed my life around, as in any way. But yeah, as in they had me in the gym. They had me a 12-week camp, 8 weeks closed camp, and that was brilliant to me. What they've done to me is unbelievable.
Now, Kev, as the fight unfolded, the first few rounds, which I thought you lost the first few rounds, but you kept catching him with fantastic shots. That left uppercut, whatever it was, the second round, when you backed off and looked at it and sort of gave a nod to you, could you sense that you were breaking him down? Could you sense it was going to plan?
Definitely. When the rounds that he was winning, he was only winning them rounds because I was allowing him to work and I was allowing him to work. As before anything goes bad with John May, what a man! What a man! He got in there on a brilliant performance. He put the fight on, and as in after my last loss, I got bad press all over the place.
Yeah.
And then I can get bad press for getting beat. Yeah. You shouldn't do. British fighters this day and age, if you get beat, you get beat. You come back from your loss. And I know John May is a strong man, a very tough man. And I'm a very good friend of his.
Yeah.
As I know he'll come back and become a good champion. But as in, the preparation for the fight went perfect.
Yeah.
And I trained very hard. I worked very hard in the gym. And it paid off. It worked.
And Kev, by about the sort of 5th or 6th round, when you completely turned it round and he was bruised and he was hurting, did you know then that you could finish it? This wasn't going 12 rounds. Did you know then it was all over as soon as you stepped on the gas and went over the front foot?
I knew from the training of the camp.
Oh wow!
How we've trained, how it was going to go. I actually predicted the 8th round. My dad backed the 8th round. My mum backed the 8th round. My 2 sisters backed the 8th round. And actually, my best mate, the dad of one of my best mates, I said to him that watch on round 1, and he said I won't put a bet on. He said, but
I fancy it.
Keep it right, I said I fancy massive man, mate. It all works out. It all works out, Steve.
So listen, Kevin, and listen. No one's more delighted than me. Trust me, Kevin. Where do you go now? I mean, I'm hearing Katsidis' name being mentioned. Frank Warren's not ruled it out. What about you personally?
I like Brendan Rios, circuses. I wouldn't mind fighting Brendan Rios for the world title.
Yeah.
And defending against Katsidis.
Yeah.
Then you could see this and then defend against John Murray and giving him a chance back.
Yeah, because John, Charles.
John's a good friend of mine. John's a good friend of mine.
Exactly.
I'll always give him a chance back.
Now listen, Kev. There was a story that your mum told at after the fight conference there, where she talked about her and your dad you know, getting together, because obviously they've been separated a long while. I know they're friends, they still talk. Getting together and going in and dragging you out of a boozer. Do you remember much about that night?
Yeah, of course I remember. Yeah, I was on a bit of a mad, crazy bender. And I was in a pub, was in one of my local boozers. The local boozer I was drinking, the Cross Keys pub. It's one of my friends' pubs. And the owner of the pub kept having a go at me for ages and didn't want me in there, and I kept drinking every day and night, all day and night. And and then my mum and dad, after a while, mum and dad come in and they dragged me out of the pub. And I remember slipping out probably about 2 days after that for another sneaky beer. The last £1,000, I walked past, looked like I'd say like a man that was asking for money, like a beggar sort of thing. Yeah. And I had £1,000 in my pocket still. And I walked into a pub on a mixed night. So as I say, mixed night is a gay night, and bought a round in there. See a friend in there that's just got out of prison. I bought a round in, walked out of there, took a score out of the £1,000.
Yeah.
From my cab home and give the £1,000 to the young lad that I see was needing money, and give him the rest of the money. And went home and woke up skint in the morning.
And that was it. That turned it around.
I turned it around, yeah. I suppose it was my mum and my dad that done it, but in 2 days after I'd done the last bit, man, I got rid of it and made sure I was skint.
Because you needed to hit rock bottom before you could climb back up.
Yeah, Steve, I swear on my kids' lives, that was exactly it, yeah. And I did hit rock bottom. I was in a bad way, yeah, but I've done it. I come back the hard way. My mum always says I'll always learn the hard way as a kid. Yeah. And I learned the hard way, and trust me, I'm back now. Back and bigger than ever, trust me, I promise you.
You know, proper people always learn the hard way, Kevin, but when they come back stronger, son, don't they?
Yes, Steve. It's just way of life, you know. You learn different things in different aspects of life, and, you know, I learned massively that, like, when my dad come in the pub and give me a clap, man, yeah, and I had the right go, man. Yeah, they embarrassed me. They come in the pub and then took me out of the pub like a young little baby, to be fair. Yeah, it taught me.
Then a couple of days later. Listen, Kev, that's a fantastic story. Enjoy yourself tonight. Keep yourself sensible over the summer. Kiss your kids from me. Say hello to your family for me, and we'll speak again in September.
Will do, Steve. Cheers, mate.
See you later, son. Kevin Mitchell there. What a story that was, eh? His mum and dad drag him out of a pub. A couple of days later, he sneaks out of his mum's house where he's living, gets himself into a boozer, passes a beggar, young kid on the street. Says he's got his last bag of sand in his pocket, goes into the pub, his pals come out of prison, buys a couple of rounds and leaves, takes a score out of whatever's left from the bundle, gives the kid the rest of the money and goes home because he needed to reach rock bottom. That was a good few months ago, probably late last year-ish. Turned his life completely around and won a fight on Saturday that most people didn't think he would win, and put himself right back in world title contention. Now that is the kind of story I like. And I'm delighted that we've had that on our 81st consecutive show. We're trying to reach Paul McCloskey.